Imagine holding the future in your palm. You unfold it, expecting magic, but then the light catches it. That noticeable, irritating valley running right down the center. The crease is the one flaw that has held foldable phones back from taking over the world. For years, we have just accepted it as a law of physics. We told ourselves you can't fold glass without leaving a mark. But what if that wasn't true anymore? What if the next generation of phones didn't just hide the crease, but actually engineered it out of existence? We are standing on the edge of the biggest shift in smartphone design since the original iPhone. Ironically, the two oldest rivals are about to go to war over this. New leaks regarding the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8 suggest that Samsung might have just checkmated Apple before the iPhone maker even makes its first move. Since the very first Galaxy Fold, the conversation has always shifted away from the cool tech and back to the crease. It is the elephant in the room. You show a foldable to a normal person and their first reaction is to run their finger down the middle and grimace. It feels like a prototype, not a finished product. Samsung knows this. They have spent years moving from plastic screens to ultra-thin glass, but the crease remained. It got shallower, but it was always there as a physical reminder of the stress on the screen. However, reports from the supply chain are painting a very different picture for the upcoming Galaxy Z Fold 8. Samsung is finally saying they are done with compromises. They are working on a revolutionary screen structure that targets the crease at its source. This isn't just a better hinge. This is a fundamental change to the display materials themselves. The report states that Samsung is developing a dual ultra-thin glass structure. Right now, foldables use a single layer of UTG on top of the OLED panel for rigidity. This new leak suggests Samsung is putting UTG on both the top and the bottom of the OLED panel. They are making a glass sandwich. While you might think adding more glass makes it harder to fold, material science says otherwise. By sandwiching the delicate panel between two layers of specialized glass, they are creating a structure that is far more resilient. This dual glass structure alone reportedly reduces crease visibility by 20% compared to the theoretical Z Fold 7. This technology was even showcased behind closed doors at CES 2026. Giving us a concrete timeline that this tech is ready for prime time. The secret sauce behind this works through microperforations. The back plate of the display is laser drilled with microscopic holes. These aren't visible to the eye, but they serve a huge purpose. When you fold a material, stress accumulates at the folding point and forces the material to deform. These microperforations act like a stress relief system. They allow the material to flex and spread that tension out evenly rather than concentrating it in one sharp line. It is similar to how skyscrapers are built to sway in the wind so they don't snap. These holes allow the screen to move and settle without permanently deforming. This brings us to the clash with Apple. For years, we have heard rumors of a foldable iPhone. Now, it seems Apple and Samsung are finally converging on the same timeline. While both companies will use Samsung display panels, they are going about it in different ways. This is a classic case of Apple philosophy versus Samsung philosophy. Reports indicate Apple is rumored to use a glass substrate underneath the panel. A glass substrate is extremely rigid and smooth. Apple wants the phone to feel solid like an iPad Pro. They are terrified of their device feeling mushy or plastic-like. They are likely willing to trade flexibility for a screen that feels perfectly flat and lasts for years. On the flip side, Samsung is sticking with a metal support plate drilled with those microperforations. Metal has different flexibility and fatigue limits. By using metal, Samsung is prioritizing the fold itself. They are optimizing for the motion and the repeated stress of opening the phone 100 times a day. This suggests the Z Fold 8 might be thinner, lighter, and softer in the fold action than Apple's offering. It is fascinating that two phones could launch using the same core display tech but aged differently because of what is under the hood. The Apple Foldable might stay perfectly flat but be heavier and stiffer. The Samsung might feel smoother and lighter but change differently over time. This divergence is great for consumers because we aren't getting clones. We are getting different engineering solutions. For a long time, buying a foldable meant paying more for worse cameras and battery life. Those were the big weaknesses. Battery life has improved and cameras are now incredible for most users. That leaves the Crease as the final boss. If Samsung pulls this off with the Z Fold 8, the barrier to entry is gone. Suddenly, there is no compromise. You get the huge screen and the portability without the ugly line down the middle of your movie. This is the moment foldables move from cool toys to the default smartphone. Samsung has taken the heat for years, beta testing in public while Apple sat on the sidelines. Now that the tech is maturing, Apple is ready to swoop in and likely claim they invented the seamless fold. But if the Z Fold 8 launches first, Samsung gets to plant the flag. They deserve that win for driving innovation so hard. My opinion on this product is that it represents the maturity phase of foldables. The Z Fold 8 isn't just an update, it's a correction of the category's biggest original sin. If the glass sandwich works as described, it will finally bridge the gap between the durability of a standard slab phone and the utility of a tablet. Samsung's decision to use flexible metal over Apple's rigid glass approach shows they understand the active nature of a foldable better than anyone else. This device could finally be the one that convinces the average user to make the switch. If you like the video, subscribe, share the video, and hit the bell icon.